All right.
Good morning, everyone.
Let's start.
I'd like to welcome everyone to the October 31st, 2023 meeting of the Indian River County Board of County Commissioners. We will start out with a moment of silent reflection for our first responders and members of the armed forces with an invocation followed with an invocation by the Chaplain Louis Trophy of the Indian River County Sheriff's Department Jail Division, and a pledge of allegiance led by our Vice Chairman, Commissioner Susan Adams. If everybody would please rise.
Father, we want to continue this moment of silence to keep our men and women of the armed forces and law enforcement in prayer. We live in a day now where law enforcement is faced with unfair criticism and there's turmoil around the world. So we pray an extra protection for your hand be upon them during these turbulent times. Father, your word says in James 1:5, if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives it liberally and without reproach, and it will be given to him. That is our prayer for the men and women who make up this board. In their hearts, they plan a course, but we pray that you establish their steps. Let them not make any decisions based solely upon what they know, but what you know. Guide them through every agenda and every decision they make today and the days ahead. We place this meeting in your hands, and we place their hearts and their minds in your hands so that you may continually direct them as they guide this beautiful community in which we live. And Father, we are so appreciative of not everything they do, but we look at this agenda today with these organizations that are being recognized with Mike Rozier and Deputy Jerry Montanero being recognized for their retirement. And Lord, I pray a special blessing upon these men who have served this county so well through the years. Bless them as they begin this new chapter in their life, and let your hand be upon them. In your Son's name we pray this. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Lou. All right. I want to start out with a question. Commissioner Fleischer, you've been here the longest time. Has there ever been a meeting on Halloween?
I don't believe there has been a Halloween meeting, and I'm very grateful that none of my colleagues have indulged in full regalia for the Halloween celebration. But I'm glad that we have a great attendance today, and we're having a good meeting on Halloween. We could say Happy Halloween.
Yeah, I don't remember, because normally it'd been the last Tuesday of the month, and when we used to just do three, and when y'all did.
We always did the last one off.
So, all right, so this is a big day. So, Commissioner Adams with the spider in her hair, awesome. So, really good. So, I've already seen some county employees dressed up, taking some pictures. I photobombed Public Works Department out there, so they were in all their stuff, so glad to see it's a festive mood today. All right, moving on. Commissioners, any additions, deletions to the agenda or emergency items?
Mr. Chair, move approval.
Second.
Got a motion by Commissioner Fleischer, second by Commissioner Moss. Anybody from the public wish to comment on the motion? Seeing none, Commissioners, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. All right, moving on. Item number 5, proclamations and presentations. 5A, to be a presentation of proclamation honoring Mike Rozier on his retirement from the Indian River County Sheriff's Department. And this will be presented by Commissioner Fleischer. Mike, you and your family, whoever you have here, come on up to the podium. Bring everybody with you.
Mike, that wasn't good.
She's the boss, I'm not.
Probably safer that way.
there's a few other people that are here on your behalf as well, too. Mike, I can't believe we're doing this today. There you go.
See, there's even more.
Oh.
Can I bring my extended family too?
I don't see the sheriff, but I do see Chief Campbell. Could we stop this? Mike, I tried. Okay? I can't believe we're here today. I want you to know that you've had such a tremendous impact on me, on the men and women who serve, and you're probably the most admired non-uniform personnel in the Indian River County Sheriff's Office. You are an exceptional human being. Look, anybody could do this. Anybody could turn a wrench, and you've done so well. But it's far more than that. What you've done is change the composition of how that shop is run, how inventory control is handled. You saved the taxpayers a lot of money. You saved a lot of the men and women who serve a lot of stress about timeliness to getting their vehicle. You even had a kind and gentle way of encouraging certain things. Like, it used to be a very difficult thing when people would drop their vehicle off after their mileage check, and sometimes they were a few miles over, and Mike would say a few words about it in a kind and gentle and encouraging way. It didn't have to go over to uniform operations. It didn't have to mean a piece of paper. It meant, I want it done right. And the same thing, I remember I was down the hallway and I heard you say, you know, I think an individual had submitted their vehicle for service, and it really wasn't up to snuff. It was actually downright dirty. And it wasn't up to our specs, your specs, and I figured, uh-oh, that sounds like a piece of paper going that way. It was really bad. And Mike, you said something that really affected that individual, but more importantly is it bred out through the arena when you said, you know what? This is not acceptable. You can't submit your vehicle this way. So what I want you to do is, when you pick up your vehicle, treat it as if you're making the payments instead of the taxpayer making the payments, and you respect that vehicle more. That vehicle wound up being probably one of the cleanest, sharpest looking vehicles going forward. And that's Mike. Mike, you had a way of being that individual who you can go to. Oftentimes, you know, when a lot of folks know that deputies go through a lot of challenges, stress, and sometimes there's nobody to talk with about it. And Mike, you were that guy. And I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, because it's a very difficult position. It's very difficult to be doing what we did, what they do, and to have somebody like you there to be able to bounce something off was absolutely incredible. You have no idea how much impact you truly had on individuals just being Mike. So I want to thank you.
Thank you.
Now I'll read the proclamation. Proclamation as follows: honoring Mike Rozier on his retirement from the Indian River County Sheriff's Office. Whereas Mike Rozier is retiring from Indian River County Sheriff's Office effective October 31st, 2023. You're still on duty. Whereas Mike began his journey at the Indian River County Sheriff's Office on October 1st, 1987, and has served with distinction for over 36 years. Whereas Mike was employed in Fleet Services Unit for the duration of his career and reached the position of Fleet Services Manager. Whereas over his tenure, Mike received many acknowledgments and commendations for his efforts, including Civilian Employee of the Year, Exceptional Duty, and the Grand Cordon. And whereas Mike worked diligently under 5 sheriffs to protect and serve the citizens of Indian River County and the state of Florida. Mike's remarkable dedication to his profession has earned him the appreciation of Sheriff Flowers and all those who have had the honor of working with him. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners of Indian River County, Florida, that the board lauds the contributions Mike Roja has made to the citizens of Indian River County during his highly successful law enforcement career and wishes him a happy and prosperous retirement, duly adopted this 31st day of October 2023, and signed by all 5 county commissioners. Mike, congratulations.
Thank you.
Each and every one of the people around you have about a 20-minute speech to deliver, but we would like you to say a few words as to where you're going, what you're doing.
First, I'd like to thank my wife and my family for putting up with me over these years and taking second place. But now my wife takes first place now. I have to say I'm a little overwhelmed by my coworkers showing up. Thank you. I appreciate that. You're like extended family to me. It means a lot that you're here today. And thank you, Joe, for the kind words. Commissioner Lohr, thank you for challenging me in my leading the fleet in times of dodges, but we won't talk about that.
Oh, we're going to talk about it.
No,
Well, Mike, congratulations on 36 years. And to our friends that don't know Mike, you want to think of somebody as loyal and the most loyal, one of the most loyal persons at the sheriff's office for anything that you want. And I tell you, I reflect back, and Joe's right, when you could go into the shop and just talk to the guys about a variety of things. But a few things come to mind, Mike, and one was, so everyone knows, each new sheriff wants to brand the agency. So it's probably January of '09, Mike comes in with, I think, Martha Asher. I think she's here today, actually.
No, she couldn't be here today.
Okay, I talked to her yesterday, but anyway. So we come in and we're having this little round table, and of course, we're talking about which cars to buy. Do you remember this, Mike?
Oh, yes, I remember.
So we talked about 45 minutes, and, you know, as I said, every sheriff's got a brand as his agency, and, or her agency. And we talked for about 45 minutes, and Mike was like, I like these Ford Explorers, and back then the Crown Vics were going away. And he talked and worked me hard on this and worked me hard on that. And after 45 minutes, I said, okay, we're going with the Dodge Chargers. And he looked at me and got up and walked out, right? So
I like that.
fast forward a few months, maybe even a few years, and we're having our big annual barbecue on the campus of the sheriff's office. And at the time, the month was March, I was debating with Mr. Baird and Mr. Brown over the sheriff's budget, of course. I don't think you remember this, Mike. And we got thousands of people at the barbecue, right? And they're claiming that I'm hiding money and doing some other stuff.
Hiding cars.
Hiding cars, which
Yeah,
wasn't
hiding
true.
cars in the Grove.
Only a few times.
We
But,
found
but about that time, you know, this big barbecue's going on, and I'll be danged if a car carrier with brand-new patrol cars shows up on the side road. I'm
Yep.
going, oh, no. So the budget didn't work out that year, but, no, but Mike, I tell you another thing about Mike. Every Friday, Mike will wear a red shirt for our veterans, and that was something that he was doing before it was in vogue. And for that, Mike, I thank you. I wish you well. 36 years, congratulations to you and your family. The agency is going to miss you. God bless you.
Thank you very much for the kind words.
I think the gentlemen have said it all, but congratulations on your retirement. Thank you for your service and keeping everybody moving along in good working order, and glad you're going to have time for your family. That's very important.
Yes.
Enjoy.
Appreciate the amazing job you did for our county. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your retirement, and thank you for your service to the community and the sheriff's office.
Mike, I've probably known you longer than all these guys you work for and work with.
Yes.
And I tell you, Mike's always been the same Mike. Steadfast, can't shake him, can't rattle him. He just gets the job done. He just, you know, I've seen him where somebody was complaining about a job, he just step away. I'll do it. I'll do it. I mean, just no nonsense about Mike, but a great guy to be around and one of the nicest people I've ever met and known for a long time. And Mike, the Sheriff's Department will definitely miss your steadfastness, your maintaining of the status quo and the level and the innovations that you brought forth and the things that you do, and just the institutional knowledge that you have with everything. They're definitely gonna miss you, and I wish you the best of luck in your retirement and with your family and everything else in the future. And again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Sheriff?
Good morning. Thank you so much for taking time out of your agenda to be able to recognize our employees. I know we have another one coming up after this, so thank you for making time for us. Mike was an amazing asset, and when you mentioned that he served 5 sheriffs Lord will know, I'm the 11th sheriff. The first couple sheriffs only account for a couple years, so Mike has served a large percentage of the time at the Indian River County Sheriff's Office, and that's incredibly impressive. Very few people can say they've done that, and so I'm proud of you, Mike. You've been a great friend, and you've just been incredible to me, and I will miss you every day, so thank you. Thank you, guys.
Anybody else? Anybody else back there? Anything?
He's got a lot of friends here.
Anybody
Mike, you're
else?
not gonna,
There's been a gag order put on them.
By the way, over 300
William, you're in
vehicles.
trouble.
somebody didn't listen to the gag order, Mike.
Over 300 vehicles that he services with a small staff of 6 or 7 people.
384 to be exact.
384. Yeah.
So we're here to honor Mike, and when I try to think of one word what describes Mike, I have to say the word family. We talked about all the incidents that we see as law enforcement and things we've been through, and Mike's been that sounding board for the majority of the people in this room over many years. He was always that big brother to me when I needed someone to talk to or when I needed to get put back in line. Mike was that guy. For 36 years, the residents of Indian River County got what they paid for every single day this man showed up to work. He's definitely going to be a huge void in the sheriff's office, but I think he took the proper steps to make sure it's filled appropriately. And Mike, I wish you the best in all your future endeavors, and you know you've always got a seat at my table.
Well, thank you.
Love you, buddy.
Love you too, Will.
Anyone else? Mike, anything else you want to add?
No.
Okay. All right, well, Mike, thanks so much.
Yep. In the flesh. Yep. Look at that.
All right, the next one is also from the Sheriff's Department. This is a presentation of proclamation honoring Deputy Jerry Montanaro on his retirement from the Indian River County Sheriff's Office. And this will be presented by Commissioner Lohr. So Jerry, you and whoever else you have, come on down. Sheriff Lohr, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. And Jerry and your wife, welcome. I had the honor of attending a wedding a couple weeks ago with Jerry and chatting with him about his upcoming retirement. He was so excited then, and we had a good time that night. Jerry and I also share an interest in Jeeps, and understand you just got another new Jeep, so the drop money must be flowing pretty well, is my guess.
Yeah.
So it's an honor for me, Jerry, to read this proclamation. This proclamation is honoring Jerry Montanaro on his retirement from the Indian River County Sheriff's Office. Whereas Jerry Montanaro is retiring from the Indian River County Sheriff's Office effective October 27th, 2023. And whereas Jerry began his journey in law enforcement January 16, 1995, and served with distinction for over 28 years, working diligently under 4 sheriffs to protect and serve the citizens of Indian River County and the state of Florida. Whereas Jerry was employed as a corrections deputy in the Corrections Division and became dual certified on September 26, 1995. He transferred to the courthouse security in 1997. And whereas over his tenure, Jerry has received many acknowledgments and commendations for his efforts, including the Tactical Award. And whereas Jerry's remarkable dedication to his profession has earned him the appreciation of Sheriff Flowers and all of those who have had the pleasure of working with Jerry. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners of Indian River County, Florida, that the board lauds the contributions Jerry Montanaro has made to the citizens of Indian River County during his highly successful law enforcement career, and we wish him a happy and prosperous retirement. Adopted this 31st day of October 2023 and signed by all 5 county commissioners. And commissioners, I'll tell you, in this day and age when we talk to private sector and public sector about finding good help, we hear that every day. We can't find good help. Well, friends, I'll tell you, much like Mike Rozier, you want to talk about loyalty and dependability with Jerry. From the things that he did early in his career to be in the courthouse setting each and every day, protecting our friends and visitors that come to the courthouse with the respect of all of the judges. I can assure you of that. And Jerry is just a loyal guy. He will be missed as well. I know he's ready for retirement, and we wish him well. Congratulations, Jerry.
Thanks, sir, appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Jerry,
Yes, sir.
it was an honor and a privilege to work with you. I remember going over to the jail, and I had just gotten to the sheriff's office, and you left. I said, "Where's Jerry?"
Right here.
You went over to the courthouse. And I want you to know that I think that was your shining moment. You embraced the whole operation at the courthouse, and a lot of public don't realize it. I guess we do see some videos, we do see some news reports of things breaking bad in court. You know, folks, sometimes people aren't happy with what's happening in the courtroom. You know, there's a reason why they're there. And Jerry took the time to show me a couple of techniques that bailiffs use to ensure the public safety. Jerry, you really wrap yourself around it, and you're well admired within the courthouse community, those who you served, the judges, but most importantly is the public. The public, as they entered and exited the threshold, they did so safely under your watch. And I want to say thank you.
Absolutely.
You're a good man.
Thanks, sir. Yeah, it's been a fantastic career, and I'm just so thankful for it. I'm thankful for everybody. Thanks.
What do you have plans to do now, Jerry?
let's see, anything I want.
Good answer. Congratulations.
Her kid. Her
anything
kid. She's
who
going
wants?
to. Yes. Both of us, anything that we want to go. Sorry, Mayor.
There you go.
Fantastic. Come on up.
Wait, Jerry, wait. I know there's got to be some other people that got to say something. I know I still have to say something.
Uh-oh.
Thank you again for taking time out of your schedule. Jerry has been an incredible employee and a great friend to me as well. Sheriff Lohr, I think it's funny, you always talk to Jerry about Jeeps. All of us, we all have different things. I always talk to Jerry about music. He's an incredible musician and drummer, and I think we've been holding him back. So I'm sure he's going on tour when he leaves us.
I'm doing that
And
too.
I'm very excited about that. So congratulations, Jerry, and thank you for
Thanks.
everything.
I'm doing
Thank you.
it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, I forgot he was involved.
Hey, Commissioner, wait a minute, Jerry. Wait just a second.
What?
Commissioner Fleischer, I know you're going to be surprised by me saying this, but I've known Jerry a long time.
No.
Long time. He's a little older than me. And Jerry was, when we were young, we didn't hang out because he was older than me, but he was one of the most
saying that.
colorful people you've ever met. Always happy, always, doing stuff. I mean, he could get angry, of course, but he was kind of larger than life, and he would take things to the extreme sometime. And I remember, 1995, I remember a friend of mine saying, "Did you hear about Jerry Montanaro?" I went, "What? Is he all right?" "No, he's fine. He got a job at the sheriff's department." You believe that?
That's what I said.
Nobody could believe that Jerry went to work for the sheriff. It was absolutely amazing, just to know him. But later on, when I was in my later years at the fire department, I'd see him at the courthouse having to go there for something. I'd always ask him, "How much longer you got, Jerry?" He's like, "Oh, I got like 10 more years to go or something." That's right. I said, "That's right. You started late." I said, "We still can't believe you work for the sheriff's department." But he's done a great job. He was just a fabulous presence at the courthouse, and I got to know him, even a little more about my trips there and around. But Jerry, job well done. Congratulations.
Thanks,
And we're
sir.
so proud of you and so proud of you for you and your family, and wish you all the best in retirement. Enjoy life. I know you will.
I will. Thanks, sir.
Come on up.
Comes with a picture?
Congratulations, Jerry.
Congratulations, Jerry. All right, those are two good proclamations. Thank you, Commissioners Fleischer and Lohr, for doing that. Great. All right, next 5C, presentation of proclamation commending friends after diagnosis. This will be presented by Commissioner Moss, and I think Carolyn Thornton Nelson, the Executive Director, is here to receive it. Commissioner Moss.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Friends After Diagnosis has been in operation for 14 years now, and they address a variety of needs that women with cancer face. Everything from helping them with wigs, if they wish to have one after chemotherapy, to rowing out on the lagoon and equestrian programs. This season, this past October, they had a number of events, including some fundraising events, which increase awareness. In fact, the first one, Pink in Paradise, was held at our IG Center and was very successful. Last year, their event had about 100 attendees, and this year had 300. So congratulations on that. I was very happy to see that. Another event they had was up in Sebastian. It was at Sons of American Legion Squadron 189, and that was a steak dinner, which was also a lot of fun. And again, it raises awareness. Even these, the smaller events that might not do much for the fundraising aspect of it are wonderful for awareness. That the more women who know about it, the more women can be helped. The final event, I'm sorry to say I missed. It was at Christie's Fitness, and it was a special Zumba class, which I'm sure I could have used, but I missed that one. I did miss that one. So I'm going to read the proclamation now and then invite you to speak. Proclamation commending Friends After Diagnosis. Whereas Friends After Diagnosis is an Indian River County 501c3 organization dedicated to enhancing the lives of women diagnosed with cancer. And whereas at present, Florida has the second highest cancer burden in the nation, and since 2014, cancer has been the second leading cause of death in Florida, following heart disease. And whereas an average of 115,000 new cancers are diagnosed and reported each year to the statewide cancer registry, the Florida Cancer Data System. And whereas Friends After Diagnosis has served local women diagnosed with cancer and their caregivers for 14 years, providing support groups, wellness programming, personal services, financial navigation, and mental health referrals. And whereas events and networking are offered to help survivors feel connected and secure in a genuinely caring community which is inclusive and diverse, welcoming all ages, stages of life, and belief systems without question. And whereas it is the hope and vision of Friends After Diagnosis to see that all women diagnosed with cancer and their loved ones have lives filled with wisdom, wellness, fellowship, and peace. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners of Indian River County, Florida, that Friends After Diagnosis is to be commended for their compassionate and continuing supportive care of women with cancer in Indian River County on October 31st, 2023, which is fitting as October is designated as Breast Cancer Awareness Month by the American Cancer Society. And that all residents are encouraged to obtain their routine cancer screenings in order to safeguard their health and well-being. Adopted this 31st day of October, 2023, Board of County Commissioners, Indian River County, Florida, and signed by all 5 commissioners. And welcome today, and please enlighten us further about the organization.
To the board chairman and each of the commissioners, and to our proclamation sponsor, Commissioner Moss, thank you for acknowledging the importance of an organization like Friends After Diagnosis. We are a local cancer support organization. As a 501c3, that means every dollar donated to our organization stays within this county. The battle during a cancer diagnosis is overwhelming. We find here in Indian River County, because women typically live longer than men, sometimes our women are here without any support at all. No children, no family, no relatives, no friends. And this becomes their second family. We provide support meetings, we provide education, we provide bras, we provide wigs, all of the things that are overwhelming in cost. Additionally, we provide wellness programs, equine therapy, rowing. We have an aquatics program as well as a year-round fitness program. All of these are aspects of the recovery process. I don't think that sometimes people realize that a cancer journey is very different for a woman. A woman is taking care of the entire household, the husband, the children. A lot of them are still working, and they don't always have someone that they can talk to about going through cancer and what that means. With Friends After Diagnosis, that is their safe space. We support women in all periods or phases of the cancer recovery process. Even today, one of our founders, who is more than 15 years out, is still a part of our organization. The anxiety that comes when you're going back for another exam, another doctor's appointment, even after 5 or 10 years, it's still overwhelming. We have women affiliated with our organization who have been diagnosed with cancer 2, 3, 4, and in some cases, as many as 5 times. We support women with all cancers. So today, even though it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I am wearing lavender. Lavender means all cancers. To imagine having a woman coming in who says to you, I don't have anyone, I don't have anything. I have to make a choice between eating this month and taking chemotherapy. I have to make a choice between eating and paying my electricity bill. I don't know how I'm going to get to Moffitt or Sylvester or Mayo in order to get the treatment that I need. Though we raise a lot of money for cancer services in this community, the vast majority of that money leaves this community. Friends After Diagnosis, every dollar, every dime stays right here. We are successful because we have community partners, we have sponsors, we have businesses, we have individuals who understand that the real help is right here in our neighborhood. I remember growing up, my grandmother used to always say that charity begins at home and spreads abroad. It's so easy for us to give to mega organizations because it sounds good. But the truth is, it's your next door neighbor who is struggling with cancer. It's your friend or your family members or your coworkers. And we are just here to provide a stopgap. We don't want anyone to have to decide should they eat or take a chemo pill. We don't want anyone to decide whether or not they should have lights or water or forego life-saving treatment. And that's our whole mission for these last 14 years. 4.5 years ago, my mother was diagnosed with cancer before I ever heard of Friends After Diagnosis. The first year, her treatment was $1.2 million in order to save her life. I had to take her to Moffitt. I had to live there for 7 weeks. I had to leave my job to take care of my mother. Only because my husband had a decent job and my family pulled together was she able to make it. Imagine all of the women in our community who don't have those resources. That's the importance of Friends After Diagnosis. We do everything from housekeeping, mowing lawns, smoothie trains, we've washed clothes, we've given rides to doctor's appointments. We've just tried to make sure that the women in our community know that there will never be a time that they will not have someone to support them during the cancer journey. This is an important organization. We thank you for acknowledging our importance in the community, and with continued support of our local government and with all of the businesses and community partners, we pledge that no woman in our community will be without a friend during their cancer journey. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the caring work that you do for our community. And I will say, even simply attending the events, you can feel that the caring and the supportiveness for this group that is just incredible.
Thank you.
That would be one of the most riveting, direct statements that I've heard on the dais.
Thank you.
Thank you for your commitment, embracement for those who are traveling a journey that they didn't choose, and they need assistance, and they don't know how to ask for it or what they need because it's a very challenging time. So thank you for what you do, ladies. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Much appreciated
Thank you.
for all you do, no doubt. Anything else? Thank you.
Thank you.
Party going on.
Halloween.
All right, next, moving on. 5D, this is a presentation of proclamation in support of unity. And this is a proclamation that needs to be done, but I can't believe we have to do it, that there is things in this world going on right now with various groups and people that just can't seem to be on the earth with one another. And I find that troubling that in 2023, there's not peace amongst the world and everybody can't get along and deal with different ideals and different philosophy. And what is even more sad, that it's spread towards hate crimes, bad things happening, and it's just something that we as a society need to take a hard look at ourselves and what we're doing and stop this proliferation of people that do bad things, especially in the name of hate, just because you don't believe what I believe or what somebody else may say. But it's a good day here. We've got a good group of people to be here to promote peace and wellness in this community. And I'm looking forward to hearing what they have to say and what we're going to do. So this is a proclamation in support of kindness and unity in Indian River County. Whereas, in light of recent events around the world, the Indian River County Board of County Commissioners presents a proclamation in support of kindness and unity among all our residents and guests. And whereas the Jewish community, including different organizations and individuals, which is vibrant and involved in enriching life in Indian River County, and whereas Indian River County stands united with all citizens and communities against hatred of any form and recognizes our diversity and strength for the county. And whereas a response to hate transcends partisan beliefs, and together we are all and will remain forever stronger. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners of Indian River County, Florida, that any display of hate shall not be welcomed or tolerated in our community, and that all our citizens stand and remain strong in the belief as we are all one nation under God. And this is adopted this 31st day of October 2023 and signed by all 5 county commissioners. And I see the Honorable Rabbi Mr. Bernholz is here, along with members of the Sunrise Rotary Club. So Rabbi, please.
And it is certainly more than myself. You'll notice that we all went to the same place for our Halloween costumes today. Actually, not a costume at all, or just a really powerful statement. And a big thank you to our county commission for accepting this proclamation, to Brian Carmen, who is part of the Sunrise Rotary community, who is the one who brought this forward and said, let's do this. When there was a drop of anti-Semitic literature here in our community, a number of them, I put out a call and I said to the community, what do we want? What do we want in Indian River County? What do we want Vero Beach? What do we want our community to look like? And this is the response. This is the beginning of the response. So many people from different faith communities, from different civic organizations have come forward, and this is the message. It's a simple and powerful message: spread sunshine, not hate. We've created some of our resources around that idea of creating a Vero Beach Kind or Vero Beach Be Kind. And this is simply a messaging campaign. It's not a new organization. It's a lot of different communities, different individuals, different organizations. And we hope the county commission and a lot of different organizations will join in just to keep this message, to get everybody to stop as they move through the world, as they encounter different people. What does it mean to stop hate, but also to spread sunshine, to bring people together, to share your light and your love and your warmth, bringing people together in incredible ways? And so I am joined, I'm closer, everyone, that this is truly a viral moment, that you see these T-shirts, that you see these hats. There are stickers we are passing out. How do we just keep this message and the value behind it, the weight behind it, spreading forth from our community and beyond? And so thank you so much to our county commission, but also to this whole community. And it is incredible each month as we have been gathering to see different groups, different people say, we want to be part of this. How do we join in? And the message is very simple. Share this message of spreading sunshine, not hate.
I see Dr. Jones back there. Anything?
I would just like to say thank you to Rabbi and everyone is here. I've been in this community 43 years and raised our children here, and I just know that I know what this community is about. I know that we're always here for everyone, and we just have to make sure we keep getting that message out there, because sometimes things change, and all you can do is be kind, push forward, and have a positive and proactive attitude. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Fleischer?
Rabbi, we often say that this community is different than everywhere else. This is the example of what it's about. Brian, thank you for bringing this forward. I truly appreciate it. One of the most misconstrued elements in our government is the separation of church and state. It merely means that we do not impose a belief. It doesn't mean that we are separate. So this is a great example of the unity. I wish we can get all faiths together as this is beginning to show that we believe in belief and we believe in the right to practice and have no fear. And I'm grateful that everybody's getting together. I want you to know that we had a recent Public Safety Council meeting. The sheriff has been compelled to forward a document to all municipalities to show that all of the tentacles of the Public Safety Council are on board and in unity to ensure that we do not have the challenges that we see everywhere else. Because once again, Indian River County is different, and thank you for showing it today.
And I would just to stress, this isn't just interfaith. This is a lot of faith communities. We have folks from Community Church. We have folks
Yes.
from First Presbyterian. First Baptist, that's later when we have the interfaith community get together. But this is a lot of civic organizations and groups. That's the diversity of this isn't just about religion. This is about so many different groups that have been marginalized, that have felt that hate directed towards them. And what do we do to not just to stop hate, but also to bring the positive into our community and into our world?
So we don't hate, we just denounce it.
That's a pretty good start.
Exactly.
We're on it.
Commissioner Laura?
Sure. Rabbi and the team, thank you for being here. The previous speaker was talking about cancer. She mentioned anxiety twice. And I talk to my kids and my friends regularly, believe it or not. And the nightly news, the morning news is filled with anxiety. And with friends like you in our community, hopefully we can lessen that because we all feel like we're on pins and needles. And Rabbi, we go back a few years and went over some security issues years ago. And here it is 2023, and unfortunately, we're still faced with it. But we stick together, we'll grow, and thank you.
I just want to say I really love your message, spread sunshine and not hate. And I think that, that goes a long way. We don't know what our neighbors are going through on a daily basis. And if we can show a little compassion and empathy, it breeds sunshine, and love breeds more sunshine and love. So I love what you guys are saying. I love that message, and I hope it certainly spreads like wildfire, not only through our community, but through the state and the country and the world, because we could certainly use a lot more of that.
Mr. Moss?
You know, you stand here today as a reminder of all the goodness in this community, and thank you for that. It's appreciated.
There's certainly power when the community comes together as a community, so you to be commended, and thank you for the example that you're setting for the rest of our community by coming together of different, organizations, different faiths, to stand up in the face of, the hatred that is perpetuated, whether it not just be here, but as to Commissioner Lohr's extent, when you watch the news, it's just depressing. So you're appreciated and you're valued. And we thank you for setting the example for not just us, but for our kids and future generations.
Again, thank you all for doing this. Thank you for being a part of this and promoting this. Brian, thank you for bringing this forward. And it's much, much appreciated. And I just hope the community and the rest of the world can hear you loud and clear.
Well, and you will hope. Debbie Padnick from the Center for Spiritual Care has done this amazing job of getting us all T-shirts, but there's also a hat too, which we present to each of the commissioners, so you too can spread sunshine and not hate and remind us of how we stand together.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you. Everybody's going to run the gauntlet. Sure.
Who did the hat I gave you?
Thank you. Brought Suzanne by. He's back in the game. We got a couple of things you could look at. Thank you. Thank you. Missy's back. Thank you. Stop. And Brian's on the end.
Don't be afraid, some of you guys to go the other side.
Promise you.
I tried.
Brush my teeth.
Yeah, that means we have to be friendly, guys.
Thank you so much.
The group will get bigger, but we won't be able to take that type of picture. Yes. Thank you.
All right, commissioners, if you want to have a seat for a second, we have a special presentation by our county staff.
Trick or treat, commissioners!
You're too much. Oh, look at this.
You are the man. I can't.
Oh, look at this. I have no costume. Oh. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Look at you guys.
Definitely that. How are you? There you go. Thank you, Betty.
What? Yeah.
Can we get a picture once we,
Well, we got to see the rest of the costume.
come on.
Come on down.
Let us see your costumes, y'all look awesome.
That way,
Happy Halloween!
Ooh, I like your headband.
Oh, gee. Oh.
No, take one. Take it.
Okay, she wins the prize. Oh. Oh. Hey, thank you, Captain.
All day.
The ship team. All right, guys.
Halloween pretzel.
The ship team. Well,
Jolly Rancher.
you got.
I like the theme.
The ship team is here. Well, look what I got here. Okay, thank you.
Good, I love this. That's awesome.
You didn't bring any candy. Here, have a treat.
Guys.
Oh. Who else has a wrench at the desk? Come on. Look at you.
Did they give you just enough Jolly Ranchers? Like, yeah. Do you want me to keep
What a spirited staff we have.
run out? I think I can make it to the end of the line. Thank you. I'll take some for Jack.
She got another piece.
Happy Halloween, you guys look fantastic.
She's quick.
All right. More candy, can you hand it out?
Y'all better put Rebecca up front.
Now, this is the first.
No more candy for you.
Good job.
Thank you. For later.
I'll move this out of the way.
Too much. This was definitely a first.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
That was a good illustration of how little candy one person needs.
Hey, should we just sit here and eat candy for the next hour? Before we get any more business done?
Gary would have a field day over here.
All right, awesome. Great job by our staff to
Wow.
dress up for Halloween. That's awesome. All right, moving on to item 6, approval of minutes. I have 6A, the regular meeting of September 26, 2023, and 6B, the regular meeting of October 3rd, 2020.
This chair move approval on both.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Fleischer, second by Commissioner Adams. Anybody from the public wish to comment on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Moving on to item 7, information items from staff or commissioners not requiring board action. 7A was the fourth quarter fiscal year 22-23 budget report. 7B was the Sebastian River Improvement District fiscal year 23-24 regular board meeting schedule. And Commissioner Lohr, 7C, I see you have a Children's Services Advisory Committee appointment.
I do, Mr. Chair, and thank you. First of all, I want to thank Michelle Falls. I don't see her here. She has served on CSAC for over a decade that I'm familiar with. I know that she served with me for 12 years on CSAC, and she echoed to me that with Cynthia's leadership, she thinks that the program is going in the right direction, which left me with an opening. I reached out to Mr. Jeff Andros. His resume is attached, and I think he's bringing something else to the table that is much needed. He's a smart young fellow, and I think that's the direction that will complement the board. So, thank you. And Jeff is here. Congratulations, Jeff.
Congratulations, Jeff. Congratulations. All right, moving on to item 8, consent agenda. Commissioners, anything you wish to discuss?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to pull 8 in November.
8 in November. Anything else? All right, anybody from the public wish to have anything pulled from the consent agenda for discussion? Seeing none,
Mr. Chair, move approval as amended.
I have a motion by Commissioner Fleischer for the consent agenda as amended, second by Commissioner Lohr. Anybody in the public wish to comment on the motion? Seeing none, Commissioners, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. 8N, waiver requirement for bids to procure road-based material. Commissioner Fleischer.
Mr. Chair, thank you. Many times I see waiver, I want to look at justification. This case, I want to look at the fact that we were looking at bids, and now we're going to do an available for use program. I'd just like to hear from the purchasing agent or from our county administrator on how we're going to roll it out to ensure that we are good stewards of the taxpayer dollar, that we are looking at this not in a vacuum, that we're looking at this and working to ensure the proper roadway material and how we'll keep it, the optics crystal clear.
Yes, Mr. Chair, members of the board. The Road and Bridge Division maintains approximately 250 miles of unpaved roadways throughout the county. We have limited number of sources, and there's a fluctuation in availability of material as well as prices. And so the staff is requesting the board waive the requirement for the bids for the roadway materials. One, timing; two, but also so the materials can be purchased on as needed and available basis. We don't use a rotation. It's based on the available quantity of the materials needed for a job that's being done, and the department will be confirming prices beforehand.
So all of the applicants or the available mines will be able to be notified at the same time? I just want to ensure that this is fair, equitable, and that it is a totally transparent operation.
That is correct. And you see for the previous year where you can see some had more materials available than others. So therefore, based on the size of the project, but we would still reach out to all of the firms, and based on the quantity and the need for the project. And then as well, obviously if we have one or two that maybe have the sufficient amount, we'd look at the price.
And have all of them been notified that that will be the procedure in which we move forward?
It's my understanding they are aware of this, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, move approval.
I'll second that. A motion by Commissioner Fleischer, second by myself. Anybody from the public wish to comment on the motion? Seeing none, Commissioners, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. All right, moving on to item 10. This will be a public hearing. 10A1, consideration of an ordinance of Indian River County, Florida, amending the future land use map of the comprehensive plan by changing the future land use designation for plus 1.65 acres located on the east side of US 1 between Jackson Street and 132nd Street from M1, medium-density residential up to 8 units per acre to commercial industrial. And this will be legislative in nature. And I see we have county staff present to discuss. A captain and a sailor, by the way.
They're going to take you, Mr. Chair, they're going to take you on a 3-hour cruise for this item.
Okay. No, welcome.
Good morning.
Morning again, Board. This item is a proposal to change the future land use map designation of the subject property. Subject property consists of 2 contiguous parcels in the Roseland area that together total 1.65 acres. One parcel is undeveloped and one parcel is developed with a 2-unit office complex. The proposed amendment will correct the existing inconsistency by amending the existing future land use designation of medium density 1 to commercial industrial. The commercial industrial future land use designation is a general commercial land use designation that is consistent with commercial uses allowable in the existing CL zoning district. On September 28th this year, the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended that the board approve the request to amend the future land use map designation from M1 medium residential density to commercial industrial for the subject properties. A look at the future land use pattern in the area shows that the property to the north, south, and west lies completely within the City of Sebastian jurisdiction shown here in the gray. And the subject property sort of sticks out, and it has the M1 medium density, and all the other property to the east is M1. The amendment is first analyzed against the following criteria: whether it has a significant impact upon public facilities, whether it is consistent with the comprehensive plan, whether it is compatible with the surrounding area, and potential impact upon environmental quality. The examination of the impact to public facilities includes transportation, water, wastewater, solid waste, stormwater management, recreation, and when this parcel comes in for development, a detailed concurrency that matches the development review will be done at that time. The criteria require that we examine the policy of the comprehensive plan for consistency when making the land use map amendments. The proposed amendment is consistent with the second criterion of policy 14.3, a mistake made in the approved plan. The environmental impacts are also evaluated, and this can be considered infill development or perhaps redevelopment, and there are none anticipated. Again, compatibility is what we're looking for. These are surrounding existing uses. Most are commercial and mixed use, with the exception of the mobile home subdivision to the east. In conclusion, the amendment will correct the future land use designation and permit commercial uses allowed in limited commercial CL zoning district. This amendment is consistent with policy 14.3 of the county's comprehensive plan, is compatible with the surrounding land uses, consistent with overall comprehensive plan, will have no overall environmental impacts, and staff can support the request. Staff recommends that the board approve the request to amend the future land use map designation from M1 to CI for the subject properties. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions of staff? Anything else? All right, with that, I'll open the public hearing. Anybody wish to come forward with any questions, comments? Name and address for the record, please, sir.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Dwayne Dickerson. I'm an attorney with the law firm Dene Miskun Backman. Offices at 14 Southeast 4th Street in Boca Raton, and I represent the applicant and one of the property owners. First and most importantly, I represent clients mostly in Palm Beach County, Broward County, and Miami-Dade County, and you all have more fun than all three of them put together. So I'm gonna look for opportunities to come back to Indian River County and do more work. This has been an awesome meeting. And I just wanna say, of course, we support staff's recommendation and your planning commission's recommendation of approval. This is to fix a mistake, and we think it allows for your comp plan to be consistent with your underlying zoning. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have on behalf of the applicant, and I thank you for your time.
Commissioners, any questions?
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public? Anyone else? Seeing none, with that, I'll close the public hearing. Commissioners, your pleasure.
Move approval.
I I have a motion by Commissioner Lohr, second by Commissioner Fleischer. Anybody from the public wish to comment on the motion? Seeing none, Commissioners, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. All right, with that, we're going to move on to 10A2. This will be consideration of a land development regulation, LDR, amendment for site plan review and approval procedures for solar facilities, LDRA 231001 2022-02008695412, and this is legislative in nature. And I see we have Mr. Sweeney here. Where's your costume, sir?
I'm dressed as a city planner today. Thank you, Mr. Chair. For the record, Ryan Sweeney, Assistant Planning and Development Services Director. This is a land development regulation amendment for the site plan review and approval procedures for solar facilities. Brief slide on the LDR amendment process. They are legislative in nature. They require a public hearing by the Planning and Zoning Commission with a recommendation to the BCC, and then a final hearing by the board, which is being held today. On September 28, 2023, the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval by a vote of 6-0. Quick background analysis for this item. The applicant, which is FP&L, submitted an LDR amendment application to amend the review and approval procedures for solar facilities within the A1, A2, and A3 zoning districts. Back a few years ago, when FPL started their solar endeavor, solar facilities originally required special exception approval, including 2 public hearings, one by the Planning and Zoning Commission and then a second by the board. In February 2022, in conjunction with FP&L and recent Florida statutory requirements, the BCC approved a staff-initiated LDR amendment that changed solar facilities to a permitted use. However, based on their size, which oftentimes exceeds 150,000 square feet of new impervious area, it still required Planning and Zoning Commission approval. The proposed LDR amendment will keep solar facilities as a major site plan, but can be reviewed and approved via the minor site plan process, which ultimately means they are a staff level approval. They will no longer require P&Z approval regardless of impervious area. Solar facilities will still require a comprehensive site plan review and must meet all applicable LDR requirements, and staff supports the requested amendment. And staff's recommendation is that the BCC adopt the proposed solar facilities LDR amendment. Thank you.
Commissioners, any questions of Mr. Sweeney?
I have a question.
Yes.
What is the benefit of having this be a staff level approval instead of going to P&Z?
It's less meeting for staff, one less item for FP&L. That does allow them to get to approval a little bit quicker. But again, there's still going to be a thorough, comprehensive review through the staff level. At this point, it's kind of become a sort of kind of an automatic recommendation and approval. So we're just trying to save time on both ends.
Okay, and this meets with, I know that there's some new statutes related to solar facilities, correct, and zoning approvals?
Yeah, and if anything, this would exceed that.
Okay, that's my question, thank you.
Anyone else? With that, I'll open the public hearing. Anybody from the public wish to comment? Name and address for the record, please.
Yes, sir. Good morning. My name is Will Saberak. I'm here representing Florida Power and Light today. We're located at 700 Universe Boulevard in North Palm Beach, Florida. And Commissioners, thank you very much for your time and consideration today. I am a solar project manager here in Indian River County, and it's my pleasure to give you a brief overview of our solar program today. But before I do that, I wanted to take the time to thank staff because they've been very influential in this process. We've requested several meetings, which they have accommodated with their time, their efforts, and their consideration here. So everything we speak about today, let's keep their efforts in mind. And again, we thank you. I know everybody walked in here, so thank you for your efforts with this, and we appreciate it. Like I said, my name is Will Saberak here, and our goal is just to give you a brief update of all of the solar facilities that we have operating in the state of Florida, of which we now have 66. And you can see 2 that are currently in construction there in Indian River County. Those are the Orchard Solar Facility and the Turnpike Solar Facility. Those are slated to come online in early 2024. And then on the next slide here, you can see the 4 that are currently in operation, which just gives us a very, very comprehensive overview of all the operating facilities that we have here in Indian River County. None of this would be possible without the great partnership that we've had with all the commissioners here, with staff, with the neighbors that we interact with on a daily basis, and certainly some great stats there listed as well. Our goal here and our effort with this solar transition is to eliminate emissions. It's to provide clean, renewable, and safe energy for Florida Power & Light customers, which we all are. We all live in these counties. We pay the same bills. So our goal here is to improve our energy experience going forward for decades to come. I'm sure you've seen some pictures like this before, but our goal when we build these facilities is to keep them low impact. We call it civil light, if you will, and that approach is designed to be one with the land and keep that agricultural facility that was pre-existing as prevalent as possible. And part of that is by being a good neighbor. I mentioned clean, I mentioned safe, I mentioned reliable. That's the mantra of Florida Power & Light, and that's what we try to do with every single one of these facilities. And every single one we try to bring to be a better example than the last one was. So again, thank you very much for your time. Thank you, staff, for the efforts, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Commissioners, any questions?
I have a question. How many solar facilities do you plan on putting in Indian River County? I see we have 6.
Right, you've got 6. I will say we have 3 more, what we would call in development. We're planning on submitting permits for those in the first part of 2024, maybe summer 2024. Those are our near-term plans for right now.
And which county in Florida has the most solar facilities?
That's a great question, and we had this conversation with John and his team last time. St. Lucie is certainly up there. Indian River is not far behind, and we're doing everything we can to keep it equitable. That's part of our process, is to kind of spread our portfolio across the counties, across the state, if you will, and there's a bunch of reasons for that. But yeah, our goal is to bring it to the entire state, not just Indian River County, but widespread, if you will.
Okay, so you are going to be deploying more facilities in other counties throughout the state?
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Any further questions? Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else from the public wish to comment? Anyone else? Seeing none, with that, I'll close the public hearing. Commissioners, your pleasure.
Mr. Chair, move approval.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Fleischer, second by Commissioner Lohr. Anybody from the public wish to comment on the motion? Seeing none, Commissioners, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Thank you, staff. Thank you, Ryan. All right, moving on to departmental matters. Planning and Development Services, 12H1. This will be an update regarding on-call and weekend hours for code enforcement staff. Here comes our code enforcement chief, Ms. Guerra. Rebecca, welcome.
You have a lovely costume on.
Thank you, appreciate it. So good morning, members of the board. Oh, goodness. Thank goodness I took my tail off.
That's something we don't hear too
We
often.
don't often hear that during the board hearing, do you?
Another first today.
So many firsts today.
That's what I'm here for. So,
I'm sorry.
it's an update on the on-call and weekend hours for the code enforcement staff. So this is a result of something that you all brought to us, that you wanted to have some expanded services available to the public from code enforcement, to have more availability to them so that they could reach us, not just for things that were happening during the weekdays, but also during the weekends, so that we would have more eyes on what's happening and more responsive time to what they are seeing and what they would like us to investigate. So these expanded services, we anticipate will begin this Friday, November 3rd. There will be one on-call code officer available to the public. So the Monday to Friday hours will be from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. and on Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. And that on-call officer will have a dedicated phone on them. It's a cell phone. That number, for the record, is area code 772-290-1408. That's 290-1408. And so you'll be able to reach us, not just during these times. So during these times, you'll be able to reach us and have someone literally pick up the phone and get your information and be able to tell you if we'll be able to respond quickly or what steps to take. But more than that, you'll also be able to use this phone to leave messages, and we will pick it up the very next day and either respond to you if it's an appropriate time or not a holiday, or to, at the very least, let the code officer know for that area that they need to respond. So don't be limited just by these hours that I'm showing you now. The public will have the ability to not just contact us in person, but to leave a message and anticipate that we'll be able to contact them in return. So we will also have one full-time and one on-call officer on the weekend. So again, that on-call individual, those weekend hours that I've shown you, that's that portion of the weekend availability. But we're gonna have a full-time member staff here at the office each Saturday during normal working hours. The weekend sign pulling, which happened in the past, we're going to pick that up again, no pun intended. And we will have our officers patrolling all the districts to make sure that we've got that sign situation, if not controlled, then at the very least addressed, so that we're keeping an eye on it, right? And we'll keep constant vigilance on it. We have business cards that'll be available in the department's lobby that'll have this contact information and all of this information on them. And our website will also reflect this information. This concludes, the vacation rental officer that you all so kindly allowed us to hire has begun her work. She is diligently at work, contacting vacation rentals that may not be registered with the county. She is coming up with a plan that we will be able to get out to all of the folks who may not be aware of the process, introduce ourselves to them, give them an opportunity to come into compliance. We are a division and a department that seeks compliance first before enforcement, so we will give them that opportunity to do so. And as I said, our officer is diligently at work, and she's been here for many years, and so she's used to the process, and we anticipate great things from her. We will be sure to record the activity from these expanded services, so we're gonna track, right, the number of vacation rental people that we contact, how many come into compliance, how many phone calls we get, how many signs we pull. We're gonna be able to give you an update in about 2 to 3 months and let you know where we're at and the success that we've had in doing so. So this concludes my presentation. I'm available for any questions you may have.
I think this is a great idea. I think time has definitely come. We do have a lot of issues that happen out there on Saturdays and Sundays. And I just think it's a great start. I'm curious to see how the results come back and what you come up with. We might be busier than we think. But I just think I think it's a great idea. I mean, I almost wish we could do more, but I want to see, where we're going with this. I think it's going to be great. I do have another question though, and this is probably a question more for Andy than it is for you. What are we thinking about with regards to any of the contractor licensing or, people doing, especially seems to be roofers on weekends that go on weekends? Or, I mean, I may be going beyond the boundaries of what we're talking about today or right now, but, that's also been a concern for weekend type things.
That's a really good question. So Andy Sopcich, Director of Planning and Development Services. So kind of what I envision is after a couple of months of rolling out these new programs, we're going to come back to the board, show you the successes we've had, what we've done, what we've accomplished, and then maybe see if we can extend that to some other departments or some other divisions, such as contractor licensing. Because we know just from doing code enforcement for a while that A lot of the activity happens after hours, after 5, and on the weekends, because those folks know that we're not on the road during those times, and that's going to change.
Right, okay, great. That's great. Commissioner Fleischer?
And thank you. And again, that number is 290-1408.
Yes, sir.
And the reason why I brought it up again and amplified it is because this was very much needed. We had brought it up during the budget hearing, and I know that the county administrator was committed to work into this. So I want to thank you all to making it happen. And 290-1408. The reason why I've mentioned it again is because our phones ring quite frequently. I'm sure I can speak for some of my colleagues. There are weekend concerns. Saturday specifically does get a little encumbering, and Friday as well. So I'm grateful. I just wanted to ask that the telephone 290-1408, that phone number will be transferred. That'll be the on-call and then the weekend as well?
So that's, it's one cell phone number, so that phone will be carried by the officers. And so either way, regardless of what time they call, either during those hours that I posted, we will pick up, you'll have a live person. And outside of those hours, folks will still be able to call that phone and leave a message, and we will get back to them the very next day, and be able to address any of the issues that they have.
I'm sure. Some things are ongoing. Some items that be brought to our attention are spontaneous. Some are very difficult to address, and some need further investigation and discussion and implementation. But once they call 290-1408, we're going to have someone that can respond and address the concern.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I think the biggest success here is going to be that you can get a live person. It's great to send an email or leave a voicemail, but you get a person to talk to, you get some response, you get that instant, response to your concerns. So that's going to be huge.
I'm happy because it's going to prevent me from being compelled to get in my car and go to a beachside to chase a dog that might have left something behind or
Well, it makes a difference for folks to be able to talk to someone and at the very least, know that they're being heard and how it will be addressed. So at the very least, we're listening to folks, we're jotting that information, and we're giving them that one-on-one so that they can feel like they're being heard and being responded to.
So by calling 290-1408, we won't have to we'll address it on Monday.
There you go.
Yes, we will address it as quickly as we can.
As quickly as possible. Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, thank you. I think once the word gets out through our community, we'll see less and less of the culprits. I thank you for bringing this forward, and I will tell you, every time that I have an issue in my only 11 months being here, when I call her team, it gets handled, and that's very refreshing. So thank you.
Thank you, sir.
But without the 290.
I think you're going to be the only one calling it.
Hope it's not voice activated. They're going to be busy.
Yeah.
So if I call 290-1408, just for you, Commissioner Fleischer, on the weekends, like say, oh geez, say too much candy. Thank you so much for that.
Any more?
If my neighbor's having a party, I know we get a lot of that in the North County area. Obviously, they probably will be after 9, but let's assume they're early, having a football party or something that's out of control. Is that something that code enforcement would then come out at that point, or?
We have the ability to respond.
Okay.
In the situations that warrant that kind of response, but we'll always try to get information first to see if there's anything that we can resolve outside of that. But that's one of the reasons why it's an on-call. If there's a situation that warrants attention in person, that's what we'll do.
Okay, I just want to make sure I understand so I can convey that properly, so people don't necessarily expect somebody to show up, but there'll be somebody that can respond and then walk through what the next steps would be. Maybe a party was a bad example, but I know we have had in our area some illegal dumping of landscape materials on the weekends, and trying to catch when that's happening has been difficult. So
In a
That's
general-
another thing, though.
In a general sense, though, most party goers truly have more of an appreciation for a uniform presence.
Right, and that's always, usually the advice that they're given is to call, make a report, and then go from there, but there's been some frequent flyers, if you will. I just want to make sure that people, if they should expect somebody to show up, that's one thing, but if they shouldn't, and it's a phone call, somebody they can talk to, and then they'll assess that, because as you know, there's been some code enforcement conversations going on in certain areas of the North County, so I just am cautious in making sure everybody has the proper expectations, so we're all making sure it's being handled properly.
And I think we're gonna vet the complaints just like we do when we're here during normal hours, which is first, is it a violation? Second, how do we handle it? Can we address it immediately right where we are? And then as we go down the line, or is it a law enforcement issue? We get to a point of, all right, we need to respond, we need to go out there. So that's always the option that we can do that, but we try to look at the more simpler, quicker fixes first.
Perfect.
And we treat each call individually. So each one is unique and each one unique to the situation. So we try to respect that as well.
Commissioner Moss,
Could you, get back to us at some point, whatever period of time you think is reasonable? Give us some kind of update as to, the results of this. I'm curious to see how it goes, and of course, I wish all the best of luck with it. I know it's a huge problem, so I hope this will go a ways toward resolving it. Thank you.
So our commitment is to make sure that we track the information, and we will come back and update you with that. So to make sure that you have a clear picture of everything that we've done.
I'm curious, and I'm sure the others would like to know too, what the outcome is. Whatever period of time you determine with the county administrator, that you think is appropriate. Thank you.
any further questions? Comments?
Thank you. That's awesome.
Thank you, ma'am.
Great, I think it's a fabulous idea. I can't wait to see what the results come back.
Well, thank you all so very much.
Sure, your pleasure.
Do we need a motion to approve
This is an
29?
informational
Really need one?
I know it's an informational item, but we should approve 290-1408.
Last chance to get the number in there. What was that again? I didn't catch it the first 7 times.
I have nothing else to,
Commissioner Flesher, I think you should develop a jingle for the next time that we come back for this phone number. I think that would be a good idea.
I'm going to work on that, Council.
Okay.
That's good advice. Our
Very good.
council has brought something to my attention that we can really make it roll.
I'm not going to be wearing this again.
I'm very concerned, though. I feel like the only way that this jingle will work is if we are all still in costume.
I think I might call upon Himanshu, because he's a very creative individual, and maybe we can really enhance this.
It's going to be a whole theatrical. dramatic interpretation.
290-1408.
All right, moving on to 12H2, stormwater inspection fees for solar facilities. Welcome back. Where's your costume?
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is my costume. Thank you again, Mr. Chairman, and again, Andy Sopcich, Director of Planning and Development Services. I have a very simple PowerPoint here for you. This is somewhat of a companion item to the last FPL item. And so what you're looking at here, this is a fee schedule for stormwater inspections. And this fee schedule was adopted by resolution by the board in 2018. At that time, we had really just seen our first solar facility project come through our planning department. And so today, as you heard earlier, we've got 6 approved facilities. If we are using this adopted fee schedule for assessing fees for FPL, what happens is we're using the category here, which is $1,000 per project site acre to do the stormwater inspections for these projects. Now, the largest one is 600 acres. So as you can imagine, we would be charging FPL $600,000 to do a stormwater inspection. Now, on a regular commercial project, that's 2, 3, 4, 5 acres, this is a very appropriate fee because there's quite a bit of inspection involved on a typical commercial project. But on the solar facility sites, it's quite a bit less, much less sophisticated drainage and stormwater system. Basically, it's usually a small parking area building, and then the rest is just the solar panels. So FPL staff approached us earlier this year and said, hey, could you maybe look at this fee schedule and see if there's a more appropriate solution? And so we did. We looked into it. We looked at some neighboring jurisdictions to see how they assess inspection fees for solar facilities. And what we arrived at is adding a category to this schedule that is $1,000 per impervious acre, and this is just for solar facility projects. Typically, the solar facility projects are about 3 to 5% impervious area, and so we kind of backed into that solution because that's basically where we need to be to cover our costs to do these inspections. So staff's recommendation here is that the board adopt the inspection fee for solar facilities and also the accompanying resolution.
Commissioners, any questions, Vandy? Anyone else?
Mr. Chair, I've read the backup a few times, and I want to thank Andy. It was very articulate and easy for somebody like me to understand. So we need a motion. I will move on staff recommendation.
Second.
Commissioner Fleischer beat you to it. Motion by Commissioner Lohr, second by Commissioner Fleischer. Anybody from the public wish to comment on the motion? Seeing none, Commissioners, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0.
Great, thank you.
All right, I think we have reached the end of the meeting. The next meeting will be Tuesday, November 7th, 2023 at 9 a.m. Same place, same time. And with that, Commissioners, we stand adjourned.